Hello everyone, welcome back to a brand new live stream. Today, we are doing something that I've been wanting to do now for at least the last 8 months. And that is, we're going to start to plan out our mega factories in Satisfactory update 1.2. In theory, I want to try and plan ahead now for this next update. The only problem is, of course, we've got no idea when the new update's going to come out, but it's always good to plan ahead. But what do I mean by planning for a mega factory? Well, luckily that's rather simple, and I'll explain everything to do with that in just a moment. But first of all, welcome to everyone who's watching live, and if you guys are watching on the VOD after the stream's already over, then don't worry, I should be live again some other time this week. What day is it today? Thursday. So maybe Saturday? Should have a video coming out tomorrow, but maybe Saturday or Sunday I'll be live again, let's see. But regardless, thank you very much for still tuning into the video. So, this is essentially what we're going to be doing today, and yes, my webcam's actually located on the right side. Normally it's somewhere on the left, but obviously then I'll be blocking all the names. Essentially what I've done off camera, and I've done this a while ago, but I've changed quite a lot of this, is on the very far left, you've got the item name. In fact, let's just zoom in a little bit. I know if you guys are watching on mobile, wait, that's the wrong one. If you are watching on mobile, you can zoom in, but I'll do it for you anyway. So over here on the left, we've got something called item name. Welcome Vinod, hope that you're doing good, man. First one here, where essentially we've got every single item in Satisfactory update 1.1, which I'm pretty sure is the exact same as update 1.0, so no major changes there just yet, because I want to try and make every single item in this game, whether it's extremely important like iron rods and iron plates, or maybe even if it's not quite as important, like what's not as important, ionized fuel. Which, if you've seen my videos where I critique ionized fuel with facts and evidence behind it, you'll probably know that this is not the best thing to make in your world, but I still want to try and make it anyway, just so I can say I've made it. Same thing with Fixonium fuel rods there as well. If you see my video talking about it, you know that I don't massively love it. But regardless, every single item in the game is listed here, of course, except for beacons. I'm pretty sure they removed beacons, didn't they, in update 1.0, which is a big shame. Womp womp, never used them in the first place. I'm not gonna cry massively over it, but there you go. We've got everything, uranium fuel rods, even got like black powder, smokeless powder, and all the ammunition. This will be a separate stream or a separate video. I haven't yet decided if I'm going to turn it into a video or a stream, where essentially I'm going to go through every single one of these ammo types and calculate the best recipes from it. I think I've already done it though for the rebar ammunition. I've made a video titled like the best rebar ammo in Satisfactory 1.0, something like that, but I still have to do it for rifle ammo and the Nobelisk as well. So that's definitely something I'll be working on over the next couple of months. Those videos aren't a priority. I've got a couple best recipe videos that are much higher up on the priority scale, but maybe I'll work on it a little bit later on, just to, fill the void of me not really having much else to do, and just to break up my schedule a little bit, which I do like to do quite a lot. Anyway, the second category is basic or alternate, where, for example, for iron ingot, I'm using something called pure. Nice. Iron ingots, which is an alternate recipe. So, hey, I put that in the wrong spot. So, it's an alternate recipe, and then the new recipe name is going to be pure iron ingots. Then the ingredients, this is rather self-explanatory, but let's say, for example, for pure iron ingots, I'm going to need iron ore and water. That's it. The very final thing that I do over here, what? Oh, okay. There we go. Very final thing that we do over here is essentially color code everything. Because what you might be able to see here, if I move my webcam out the way, this is a color coding system that I use for my Excel sheets. So crude oil is black, uranium's green, iron ore is light blue. You can go through the entire list here as well. And essentially this color coding system is the exact same that I've got all of these items on my Miro spreadsheet. So when this loads in, we can get in. You finish most of your plutonium setup. You still have raining all your 3,780 concrete. Ooh. Those plutonium pellets would be fun to make. Into your 945 encased cells, and then combine your steel EMC, electromagnetic control. EMC? What is EMC? Electromagnetic, oh yeah, electromagnetic control rods, yeah. And heat sinks into fuel. Oh, nice. Yeah, that should be relatively fun. Maybe. But yeah, essentially like what I was showing you guys a bit earlier there with the color coding system is the exact same like what I've got over here. So water is dark blue, iron is light blue. We go back over here. Water is dark blue, iron is light blue. So that's the way that I like to color code everything. So that when I zoom out here a little bit, we can then very clearly see that these two have to be highlighted in their correct colors. And I can then just check, judging by the colors, which recipes I can combine. For example, iron ingots only requires iron ore and water. Iron plates just requires iron ore and water. Screws just requires iron ore and water. So then what we're going to do, after we do all of this, and hence the title of today's stream, what we can then do is eventually start to combine all of these recipes into different sections. Each one of these sections is going to be our factories. So for example, everything that just consumes iron ore and water, like I was mentioning again, stators, rotors, iron plates, iron rods, screws, obviously iron ingots, all of that can be in one section, which will then be our iron factory. Then, for example, we might have another section for our electronics. That will then be our electronics factory. We could then have another section for our weapons. That will then be our weapons factory. So, essentially, things like that. But how do I know what items are going to go into what? Well, essentially, I've already done tons of calculations. So, if I can zoom in. Again, I'm getting a new... Oh, I was supposed to get a new mouse yesterday, wasn't I? I completely forgot. I'll order one off Amazon. So here we can see, for example, water plus iron makes iron ingots. That's one recipe. Iron ingots makes wire. That's another recipe. Wire makes cable. That's another recipe. Cable, quartz crystal, reinforced iron plates makes crystal oscillators. That's another recipe, etc., etc. So just here, we have probably got a good couple dozen recipes, which is absolutely fantastic. And this is actually where I want to start off today. However, I've also made a separate Miro document, all just for our... to combine all of our recipes, essentially. Actually, I want to try and move this around. There we go. Like that. So all of our ingots, which is... where is it? This tab right here is then going to be placed along there, then another section will be along there, then another section, so it will make sense as we go along. But regardless, let's just get into it. I don't know how long today's stream is going to be. I've started relatively late today, and I do apologize for that. I've had a very busy last couple of days. Unfortunately, I'm a bit injured as well. Just work, well, not work stuff, exercise stuff, which kind of broke me a little bit, but it is what it is. So, of course, starting off with our iron ingots, I've already given a brief example of it. I have to also copy and paste you lot across over here as well, if I can do this. No, that's fine. I didn't think I'll be able to. I can do this, though. There we go. So, that is our iron ingots done. Now let's move over to our copper ingots. Have I got a copper ingots recipe? Obviously we do. Like that. Obviously when I do copy and paste these recipes over, I'm actually going to be removing all the numbers. For example, we're not going to have like 20 water in there, then like 45 iron in there. Everything here is just going to be set to the defaults. Well, 0 I suppose, because it's just a lot easier for me to calculate. I do much prefer it. There we go. In fact, it might even be a bit easier. Rather than having to delete that white box and the red box every single time, to just copy over this entire thing immediately. Into there. There we go. And remove you, remove that, remove that. Lovely. Then that. Okay. Great. So for our copper recipe, again, all we need here is copper ore and water, which is great. Grapes. And copper you over there as well. Lovely. Okay. And probably just chuck you down right about there. That's pretty good. Make sure that you are sent to the very back. And you were also sent to the back. Wait. Center back. There we go. Okay. You lined up. You should be. Lovely. delete that just for now. And change you to copper ingots. Lovely. No. Connect you to there. You to there. Make sure that you're nice and central. There we go. And I also do want to try and add its name down here as well, and preferably the image. I haven't got the images for every single item because these are custom made. I have like a background for it and everything. But I have got the images for a few of them. I believe I got copper ingots. Yes, good. Done plutonium pellets and the other non-radioactive items. You just need the encased and already made pellets and then shove it into the manufacturer. Oh, nice. So it's not too bad then. Not too bad. Try that down there for now. You high enough? I don't know. Now you are. Good. Make sure that you're lined up. This image underneath here is relatively small, but it just looks neater in my eyes. That's rather important for me. As long as it looks neat, I'm pretty happy with it. I'm not sure how long this process is going to take. Again, I don't rush anything on this channel. As regular viewers know by now, I don't like to rush anything. Because why? Unless I desperately have to rush something, then I won't. Then open up this tab. Copper ingots. We are using an alternate recipe. It's called pure copper ingots, or pure copper ingots. And we need copper ore plus water. Lovely. And you are the copper one. Your water. Great. Now let's move over to Caterium. Lovely. Should have some Caterium down here. Where are you? There you are. See, because I've color-coded everything, it makes my life so much easier. That's definitely one change I'm very happy that I did commit with. Because if you guys remember, before my before this software crashed, I didn't color-code everything, so it took a lot longer to try and do this process. But now, honestly, this is just a lot easier for me. Chuck you there. Is there any way I can just place you in? No, okay. Unless, wait, can I just bring this forward? Bring to front. There we go. Undo. It's not too bad until you realize you need 70.56 fully overclocked assemblers and 31.5 fully overclocked manufacturers. Damn. Have you got quite a lot of power shards? Because I feel like the project that you're doing is going to require hundreds and hundreds of power shards. I'm sure you've thought about it already, obviously, but... sounds like a lot of work. Which, to be fair, like... Satisfactory is a lot of work on one hand. I kind of like it, though. It gives me something to do. Until I've got something else to do, then it's like, oh dear. As of right now, it's pretty chill. Honestly, I'm going to move this over here a bit as well. Look at that. It tells you when this is directly in the middle of them two there as well, which is really handy. Oh, really? Also, if you hear snoring, by the way, it's not me. I should probably explain this. Oh, I've woken him up. This is my dog. Can you even see him? There. This one. Yeah, my dog's next to me, so in case you do hear barking or snoring, maybe the snoring will be from me, but not the barking, I promise. So. And the reason he's here... I don't even know why. I love him, that's why. That's why he's here. I've also got to give him his, I can't say the word because then he'll react. Foods. In an hour and a half, but that should be fine. Yeah, that's what I was going to do. I promise, no barking from me. It is not me. Welcome, Valius TV. Hope that you're doing good. Caterium wire, we are definitely going to be doing some... Well, actually, it depends. We're doing quick wire, but I'm not doing Caterium wire, if you mean the one for... the regular... What has... Holy lag. Why is my game lagging so bad? Hello? If you mean the recipe for copper wire, then no, I'm not changing that one. The copper wire, I'm actually using the iron wire recipe. I don't know why my game's lagging so bad, though. Ultra graphics for this save is actually really good, but I've got barely anything built in this world. Let me try and change that. Unless my game's crashed, which it might have. Which is actually quite annoying, because my game's been running now for about 5 hours. So if it's crashed the minute that I start streaming, that's rather frustrating. But let's see. Let me just try and change this for a minute. There we go. Back. No, I don't know what's going on. Let it run in the background for a minute, because I don't know what it's doing. Be a bit bigger. There we go, nice. So that's Caterium done there as well, fantastic. And come back over here. Caterium ingot, of course, we're using another alternate recipe. There's its pure Caterium ingots, where we are going to need Caterium ore. In fact, is it Caterium or Caterium ore? I've always called it Caterium ore. I don't know why it's lagging so bad, I do apologize. I mean, this actual screen itself isn't lagging. It is Caterium ore, okay. Do you think if I exit the main menu, then return back into the server, it should fix itself? The only problem with doing this is that it might crash my game, but it shouldn't do. But I have noticed that sometimes when I do exit to the main menu, instant crash. So far, it feels like it's not too bad. Welcome, Seth. The project for today is actually quite a fun one. If I can get it open. Give me a minute again. There we go. So the plan is, we're going to try and calculate, essentially, the best factories for me to make in Satisfactory. Every single item that you see in the game, well, every item in the game is on the left side of the screen here. And then what I'm going to do is split it into a few different categories. So we've got whether it's a basic or alternate recipe, the name of the alternate recipe, if it is an alternate recipe. If not, I'll just write the basic recipe. The ingredients that are then needed, and the color code. So each one of these colors is a raw resource, like iron, water, and copper, for example. And then what I'm going to do is see all of these colors, see all the ingredients, then everything that requires very similar or the exact same ingredients, like just iron and just water, for example, like iron rod, iron plate, screws, reinforced iron plates, and iron ingots, for example. That can all be in one... Relax, Tommy, relax. Okay. That can then all go into, like, the same factory, for example. So that's what we're doing today. We're planning out our mega factories, which is pretty fun. I'm looking forward to it. If my game works. No. Now my mouse has disappeared. There we go. What the heck is happening? Oh well. Yeah, continue that. Get that screen back up again. Lovely. So that's how today is going to go, essentially. We've already done the first 3. I've got quite a lot of recipes I can do today. But I believe until I do the ballistic warp drive and the biochemical sculptor, I think it's called biochemical sculptor. Have we done that? Yeah, so if until I've done a couple of these, I can't do every single recipe in the game. But most of them I can do today, which is the plan, hopefully. So next up is steel ingots. Right. Have I even done that down here? think so. I'm gonna try and find coal, because then I can probably... There we go, yes. Lovely. You're gonna go back over there. Select you, and you. Lovely. Make sure that all of you lots are brought to the front. Although I can probably get rid of that. And then make sure that you're attached to that and that you're attached to that. I mean, it's a little bit wider. That's fine. I don't mind doing that. Probably too wide. Actually, is that too wide? It feels like it's alright. Make sure you're in the middle of that. Yep. I'm gonna bring you down here a little bit though. Which again, that's not a problem. Steel ingots. Then again, get rid of all these numbers here, because the numbers here mean nothing. Well, no, well, for this project, they mean nothing, but they mean something rather important for other projects. Just depends what I'm working on, essentially. Into front. There we go. You a bit further down, maybe, just in case. There we go. Have I even got steel ingot saved here? No, I can get that image off camera. That's fine. Then again, copy and paste you lot across. Change you as well. There we go. What's the chain you're making? The Caterium wire. Again, I'm not doing Caterium wire. I'm doing just regular quick... Unless you do mean quick wire. Because when it does come to quick wire, this is the recipe I've got for it. Yes. So we've got our Caterium ore plus our water makes our Caterium ingots. That then combines with our copper ingots, which is from our copper ore and water, to then make our quick wire. The reason as to why I do this is because it ends up saving quite a lot of Caterium ore. I don't mind having to use a bit of extra copper, that's not a massive problem. Some people don't like getting water involved with this sort of recipe, and that's completely fine as well. You don't have to get, or you don't have to use any sort of water for this recipe if you really don't want to. But I like to. Because again, it just saves a bunch of resources. I mentioned this in a video that probably won't be coming out for a while, but I'm probably saving thousands and thousands of resources here in my world because I'm using water. It does mean that I have to consume water, but that's not a massive problem, honestly. So what's next? Also, I haven't done this yet. I am using an alternate recipe, aren't I? Let's put this over here for a minute. Yeah, so we're using iron, water, and coal. Right. I didn't do that one either. Whoops. And I think this one's coal, isn't it? Yep. There we go. And Caterium is orange. Lovely. And this recipe is called Solid Steel, I believe. Solid Steel was really good. I 1000% that you recommend. Well, I 1000% recommend that you make it. Solid Steel ingots. And the reason as to why I do recommend it is because you end up saving iron and coal as well. So it's a bit of a win-win. The only thing you got to try and do is make your iron ingot before you combine it with your coal to make steel. So normally you do iron ore plus coal equals steel. Now you're doing iron ingots plus ore. So you have to have like that extra stage, that extra smelter, extra refinery, whatever you do to make your iron ingots, and that then makes the steel. But good for saving resources. We will get onto some, so we will... I promise I can speak English. I promise... Am I actually... Wait. We are going to get onto it, I think, today. There we go. Sulfuric acid. So I will be going through that. Should have time for it today, absolutely. Iron ore plus coal plus water. There we go, lovely. Moving on now to our aluminium ingots. Oh dear. Honestly, I am just fed up with aluminium at this point. I really am. There's everything here, including that. And then the only thing you actually need is bauxite, water, and crude oil. Which really isn't that bad, in all honesty. It's not that bad at all. There we go. Definitely going to have to make this a little bit bigger, though. But now we can bring it down to there. Probably will end up making it a bit smaller later on. Copy and paste you over there as well. I swear I'm spelling aluminium right. Oh, I am. Okay. So it's saying here I'm spelling it wrong because in the UK we spell it a bit differently. We have like an extra I here. So we don't say aluminum, it's aluminium. So like an extra I in there. It's like, when I got it wrong there, I was thinking, okay, that's fine. But when I got it wrong there, I was thinking, well, I can't get it wrong twice in a row. Even though I'm not very good at spelling. But I know how to spell aluminium. Oh, well. I knew it was going to happen. Okay. What if I do this, then deselect that? There we go, lovely. Move there into the middle. Cut you off there a little bit. Lovely. Welcome, Harry E22. Hope that you're doing good. Hello, Minion. Yes. Everyone's got their different ways of pronouncing it. There's the right way, then there's the wrong way. Get rid of all of that stuff there as well. Get rid of that mathematics. Lovely. Although you could probably all get moved up here a little bit, if I'm honest. There's no reason why you're so far down. There we go. Although, actually, yes, there is. I don't know why you're so far down, actually. You can probably go to around about there. You then go to here. It's not wrong. There we go. Gonna lose my mind. Preferably I do want you lot to move a little bit over there. There we go. That's good now. Yeah, how's everyone been? Has it been a good weekend? What day is it today? Thursday. It's probably a bit too late to ask if you had a good weekend. Have you had a good week? There you go. Looking forward to the weekend. As you can tell, I'm looking forward to the weekend. What am I doing? Nothing. And sometimes doing nothing is the best sort of weekend. My dog is giving me a death stare because I'm interrupting his 14th nap of the day. It's a tough life being a dog. Oh, and he's pissed off. Great. There we go. That is our aluminium ingots. Lovely. And what do we need for that again? It's bauxite, water, and oil. Crude oil. I don't know why I was checking that. I should know the ingredients of it by now. Bauxite? You are bauxite. There we go. Okay. Are we using an alternate recipe? I'm pretty sure we have to be. The recipe that I'm using is scrap straight into the ingot, but if I'm pretty sure, I don't know why my game's lagging this bad. If I try and land, maybe? That fixed it. Is that a bug? Maybe it's a bug, I don't know. Because I believe the regular recipe is with silica. It is. Okay, okay. And again, I've pressed the wrong screen here. There we go. So we are using another alternate recipe. And what's the name of this one? This is pure aluminium ingots. Okay. I have actually been thinking about getting a new PC recently. I feel like it's almost worth it at this stage. Oh, plus. Because I use my PC easily 10 hours a day now. And I do a bunch of content creation on it, so I feel like it's a bit of a work expense as well. And then lastly, the fixed-light ingot. Let me just do this part now since we're already here. But yeah, the fixed-light ingots, I'm using the Caterium fixed-light recipe. What did I type there? There we go. Is that it? No, there's something else that I need. Is it Sam? It is Sam, isn't it? Lovely. So we'll copy and paste you lot over. Maybe not like that. Oh, thank you very much for the sub. Cryo Drake. Thank you very much, man. It's very kind of you. Heck, there we go. Satisfactory's ending, I've got no idea. I haven't completed the game yet. I've got no idea what the ending's like at all. Then go for it. Yeah, Ian, I think I might do one day, honestly. Because I've been thinking about the 5090 as well, but the 5090 is... I don't know, I feel like it's good, obviously. But I don't know if my PC can handle it. It might overheat my PC is what I'm a bit concerned about. I feel like if I was to get a 5090, I might as well just commit to a new PC. Because I might have to get a new cooling system as well. I'm not sure exactly how it works, but what I do know, though, is that the fan that I've got for this PC... My dog is doing stuff. The fan that I've got for this PC isn't great, and it does struggle. Like, whenever I close Satisfactory, I can hear it, and it's extremely loud. I feel like if it's got anything else in there, it's just not gonna be great, so... Yep. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. That's for sure. Just double check very quickly. Fix sites. Move. Thank you. Yeah, so we do need reanimated Sam for that. That's not a drama. I don't know if I actually calculated fixed site down here. I'm pretty sure I did towards the far right, didn't I? Oh, there we go. Yeah, fixed site trigons, fixed site ingots, pretty much needing the exact same resources. So that's actually kind of nice. Obviously, I'm going to make fixed site ingots in the same place that I'm making my fixed site trigons. But there's no reason why not to. But as of right now, you lots... I need... I've gone too far, haven't I? I'm lost! No! Where the... Oh. I didn't go far enough. Okay, fair enough. Track you guys across over here. Make sure there's a nice gap, although that's way too big. There we go. I'm still fine with going with Caterium for our fixed site ingots. I don't think that's going to be much of a problem. I mean, if it is, then whoops. But no, from what I've calculated, it should be alright. But it's one of those where it doesn't really matter what you go with. And of course, something else that you could do is go with all of them. You can go with iron, go with Caterium, go with aluminium if you really want to. Go with all of them at the same time. Whatever you feel is best for your project. And I'm pretty sure I did highlight that in the video that I made talking about fixed site. At least I should have. You're lined up there as well. Perfect. Then give it the numbers. Change you to fixite. I got fixite ingots. The image for it. I do. Nice. Yeah, we'll keep you there for now. Why not? And we'll grab you, make you a little bit smaller, even smaller than that, I'd say. There we go. I don't like how you guys are not lined up though, so let's very quickly change that. Then move you up to there, then move you up to around about here. Brilliant. Is there any more ingots to go over? No, there isn't. Good. So again, we're using Caterium. Why are you suddenly so large? I don't need you to be that large. There we go. We're also needing some water. And finally some SAM, which is you. In case you can't notice, everything I'm doing essentially requires water. I can't think of a single recipe that I can, actually, silica. Yeah, no, silica doesn't require any water. Petroleum coke doesn't require water. Heavy oil residue obviously doesn't. That all does, I think. Nitric acids. That does require water, doesn't it? Yeah, I thought so. There we go. Every time I switch to my webcam screens, because I've got to reopen this tab, and then by doing that, I've got to press my home page, essentially. That's why I do that. Only reason to build the fixite trigon somewhere else is if you're planning on using them somewhere else, because the amount of items triples. Yeah, that could be a good reason why you do want to try and do that. I believe I'm using fixite ingots for a couple of things. Or trigons, even. So there's the Fixonium fuel rod, which I'm still debating if I'm going to make Fixonium fuel rod. I feel like it's just not worth it. And then we've got the Neuroquantum processor, which I'm definitely going to be using it for. Unless there's an alternate recipe, which there's not, so that answers that question. Then there's also the Biochemical Sculptor, which I'm, of course, again, I'm using it for. So, because the fixite ingots requires water, Caterium, and SAM, I'm most likely going to be making this somewhere very close to my electronics factory. Which is also most likely where I'm going to be making my supercomputer, well, most certainly where I'm going to be making my supercomputer. And probably close to where I'm making my time crystals. In fact, you know what? The Neuroquantum processor, I might just make this in my electronics factory. Because all of these three things will be made mostly in the same factory. And of course, excited photonic matter you just make for free. Well, I say for free, it requires no raw resources, it just requires power. This will not just be made in the electronics factory. Yeah, again, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. The next item I want to try and talk about is concrete. Well, obviously, we are using wet concrete. And the ingredients here is going to be a limestone and water. So limestone, I believe, is that one. Yep. There we go. In fact, wait, no, sorry. Let me just add that back here again. So yeah, that's all of our ingots essentially done. Now what I want to try and do, and I haven't really prepared for this, so I don't know how it's going to work, but if I try and get a line, how thick can I make you? I can make you thick. Good. That's what we like. We can separate you and, oh, have mercy. And just make you straight. Is that possible? Perfect. If I do that, there we go. Now you're definitely straight. That's good. Chuck you in there. Okay. So that's the ingots category essentially just done for now. Fantastic. Round of applause. That's enough. The next category is now going to be minerals. Wow. This is epic. I'm trying. Minerals. There we go. You can go back a little bit. You don't have to be directly on top of the iron ingots. That's good there as well. Link. That. There we go. So yeah, the very first thing that we said that we were going to do was concrete, wasn't it? Honestly, this mouse is going to be my 13th reason why. It is just... Oh my... Pain. It is pain. It's pain. Oh. Okay. Guess I'm adding this here as well. I had no idea I even copied and pasted that one across, but there we go. You can then get moved somewhere up here. It is a bit finicky doing all of this, but I actually quite like it. Visually, for me, it's nice and easy to spot what I'm doing. So I quite like it for that reason. And very simply, just do a bit of this. Not that, though. Bring to front. There we go. We can go somewhere up there, just like that. Holy moly. How about no? Why have you reset all of this? I know why, actually. That's fine. Because I was messing around with that. Also, you're not... I knew it. You want the right shade of... Perfect. So that's basically our concrete done. I should have a picture of concrete. There we go. Lovely. There's no gap. Oh, there's no gap in between you lot. How dare I? You over there. You could be much smaller than that. I'm probably not going to end up turning this into a video unless something really important happens, or unless I think of a concept to turn this into a video, but as of right now, yeah, I can't think of much of a reason. But no, I mean, again, things can change. Things always change. It's satisfactory. What was next? It was quartz crystal. There we go. So for now, you can just sit right about there. Have I got an image for quartz crystal? Look, I don't. No, that's fine. I can get one a bit later. We have, of course, got the recipe for it, because then that would be useless if I didn't have the recipe for it. Where are you? Silica. Although, don't I need silica next? I do. Let me just copy that across as well, then. Nice. Yeah, that can go. So you're what I need for now. Is that a bit high up though? Probably. There's no reason for it to be that high up. Yeah. I should have a video coming out tomorrow, by the way. And it should also be a best recipe video. I think it's about something. What is it about? It's about a space elevator part. The magnetic field generator, I think. Yeah, maybe it is a magnetic field generator. I believe so, at least. We'll also change you to quartz crystal. Almost forgot to change it. Lovely. So quartz crystal, we are using an alternate recipe. So far, everything has been an alternate recipe. And you're going to be pure quartz crystal. The ingredients are going to be raw quartz plus obviously water. And your raw quartz. Beautiful. Would you ever be interested in doing a modded Satisfactory? Something like a total overhaul mod or like Satisfactory Plus? I did say that I would do Satisfactory Plus. Where is it? There we go. I did say that I would do it. I just don't know when. One day. When I'm like very, very bored of base game Satisfactory, which probably won't be for a while, but yeah, I will definitely plan on doing something like that. I think my dog's got suicidal tendencies. Tendencies? He's trying to jump off my table. Not jump off, but like maneuver his way off my table. He is safe up there, obviously. Dogs. Okay, for the main silica recipe, this is a basic recipe. No, don't do that. Tendencies. I can't think of the word now. Recipe name, just basic silica. There we go. Ingredients, just raw quartz. There we go. You could use dissolved silica. I don't want to be doing that though, if I'm honest. You could. What kind of dog? A pug. I showed him a bit earlier. Here we go. Yeah, he's happy. He's just chilling. He's sleeping as always. I mean, he sleeps in the morning. He then sleeps in the afternoon. He then sleeps in the evening. He loves to sleep. It's not like he's bored. Like, we always entertain him. He's always playing. He's always doing something. It's just, he loves to sleep. Sometimes dogs sleep when they've got nothing else to do, but he has got other things to do. He's just like, he likes to sleep. Which, you know what? I respect it. Who doesn't like to sleep? Let's try and put my chat back. There we go. Yeah, he's 8 years old now. 9 is he? No, I think he might be 9. Yeah, he is. His health is not great. No. He has been getting better though recently. About maybe 6 months ago. No, it would have been longer than that now. Maybe 8 months ago? I think sometime in August last year, I think it was. Yeah. He was bad. Like, he couldn't walk, nothing. But then he got better, so... yeah, miracle. Absolute miracle. The thing is, even though you do absolutely love your pets, because they're part of the family, at the same time, though, you don't want to see them suffer. So, you have to make that choice between, do we just give the dog a bunch of medicine and constant injections, and they won't be happy and they're constantly sick, or do they go to sleep? Luckily, no, he got a bit better. We did have to have that conversation. No, he's good now. Living life. Well, when he's not sleeping. I've got to change this. So, copper powder. This one's nice and simple. It's just copper ore and water, really. Very simple. Although you can go. You might have to move down here a little bit, in fact. There we go. We should also have some copper powder here. No. Apparently not. Oh, I've got copper ingots, not copper powder. It is always a tough conversation, yeah. Not a good one to have. So you can just go. There we go. Have I got copper powder down here? I should do, because we're making nuclear pasta somewhere. Yeah, here, I think. Yeah. Lovely. 19 years old, wow. Yeah, the thing is, like, they can live to that age, but they're very sick after a while. Is it worth it for them? Okay, so you're gonna have to move down a little bit. We can then move you down there a little bit. That's fine there as well. Make sure you've got tons of room, which you do. Love that. And yeah, our copper powder can then go in there. Next up, polymer resin. I think polymer resin is just made from crude oil, really. No, it is made from crude oil. Not I think, it is made from crude oil. I'm actually looking forward to doing a few mega projects. The main one that I've been working on recently is the aluminium stuff from the 1.0 series, but again, my PC is really struggling to run that now. I feel like it could be time for an upgrade. Treat myself. So, the recipe for polymer resin is crude oil into something else. But it's a byproduct, really, isn't it? More than anything. Suppose I could do that. So it'll be crude oil going into polymer resin with a little bit of heavy oil residue on the side. Even the other way around, I've already got a recipe that is like that. Yes. There we go. Why is it not... Okay, that's the second time that's happened when I've pressed Control C and it hasn't Control V'd. Please Control V. There we go. I suppose this is the recipe, really. Yeah. You straight? I think you're straights. Yep, good. Have I got polymer resin saved here? I do not. That's fine. So the only thing you need is crude oil. Have I missed one, by the way? Copper powder, we are using the basic recipe because there's only one recipe for it. The ingredients is going to be copper, ore plus water. Lovely. Next up again, we have that polymer resin. This, in theory, is an alternate recipe. In fact, no, it is an alternate recipe. Because the one that I'm using in particular is this, which is the alternate polymer resin recipe. Actually, sorry, no, it's not. Cancel. This is the main recipe I'm using, the heavy ore residue alternate recipe, which is still an alternate recipe. So, yep. That's the wrong screen again. Pure talent. There we go. The PC's been having issues with Satisfactory too. Don't know why. You're not on experimental. Yeah, normally my PC does struggle a lot more on experimental compared to the main game itself. I don't know why. I don't. It is kind of annoying, but again, what can you do? I wonder what the recommended specs are for this game. Satisfactory recommended specs. 2070, okay. RTX 2070. And I'm pretty sure I've got an RTX 3050, I think. So I do meet the recommended specs, apparently. Maybe it just gets to a stage where the things I build are so unbelievably stupid that the game itself is like, no, stop. Please. No. Lovely. The ingredient is just crude oil. That's it, I believe. Yep. Good. What's next? Petroleum coke. Okay, pretty much the exact same thing here. Yep. So recipe name. Actually, isn't this a basic recipe though? If I spot that correctly. The only thing that we're going to need, from what I'm aware of, is crude oil. Yep. There we go. Let me just do this sheet first, then we'll go back into Myra. I just want to try and get this out of the way with. Aluminium scrap. I believe this is an alternate recipe. What recipe am I even using for it? I'm using the electrode. Okay, yeah, so this is definitely an alternate recipe. Ingredients for it. Bauxite, water, crude oil. Okay. Oh. Even better. The right one? That is the right one. And again, chuck you into there. Then chuck you into here. Lovely. Great. More on building smaller factories that were spaced out from each other and just using more logistics helps a lot. Yeah, definitely. I think something that's supposed to help as well is, well, obviously using less signs, using less lights, and trying not to have too many exposed conveyor belts. I've noticed when I put my starter factory, which got a little bit out of hand, I must admit, into an actual build, it definitely did save me some FPS, especially when I got close to it. Because whenever I went inside of my starter factory, which wasn't a factory, it was just out in the open to begin with, whenever I went inside of there after I built the walls, I noticed that my game definitely started to lag a bit more. So I definitely feel like that project did help save a few frames per second, but I don't know if it contributed massively to an FPS save. Heavy ore residue alternate. We are using the heavy ore residue alternate recipe. The ingredient again is just crude oil. Truck that down into there. Fuel. We are using residual fuel, or is it diluted fuel? I think it's diluted fuel, this one. Ingredient is just crude oil plus water. Like that. Turbo fuel. Oh. I actually forgot the recipe I was using for it. Let me just double check. I'll have to come back to a few of these recipes, by the way. So yeah, there's, well, in theory 4, but actually only 3 recipes for it. I think I was using this, wasn't I? Was I? No. No, I wasn't. I was using the basic one. Which apparently is better. So, just looking at compact coal here. This uses double. So if I was to use 30 compact coal per minute, it would mean that I can make almost 40 turbo fuel. So this recipe actually saves me on... Pause. No, this recipe consumes more sulfur and more coal. I suppose this consumes more crude oil. And then there's this recipe down here, and I believe the reason as to why I didn't want to use this recipe, even though I think it was decent, was because it was a bit of a pain logistically to make, and because as a byproduct from... I can think of its name, rocket fuel, you get compact coal. So I can very easily recycle it back into here, whereas I can't do the same with this. Because this takes sulfur and petroleum coke, it doesn't take compact coal, which is kind of annoying. I'm pretty sure you can make compact coal with petroleum coke. Can't you? No. Okay, thought you could. I feel like the basic recipe here is fine. I wish I can go back and check what I was using, but I don't know now, unfortunately. Although you seem pretty decent there as well. Let's just stick with the basic. So for the basic, we are going to need sulfur, coal, crude oil, and water. Okay. Turbo fuel. Sulfur. Water. No. Crude oil. Coal. Water. There we go. That's not bad. It sounds like a lot, but we've already made it, so I know what it's going to be like, and it's not that bad. In all honesty. There we go. So, the last one was coal, wasn't it? Yep. Lovely. Next we've got the alumina solution, where we're using sloppy alumina, which is an alternate. The reason as to why I do this is because if you use the basic recipe, you have to consume, or you make as a byproduct, silica, which sounds good, but you end up consuming more bauxite and more water, a lot more water, I believe, and I just didn't feel like it was worth it. There we go. Which are the exact same resources as the pure aluminium ingots minus the crude oil. Yep, that's correct. I thought I was wrong there for a minute. I hope not, because again, I've already made this recipe. So ferric acid, I think there's... Is there 2 recipes for this thing? Well, I mean, in theory... No, I don't count that. No, it's just one recipe. Sulfur and water, okay. Nice and basic there. I know that I'm sometimes spelling sulfuric acid with a PH and sometimes I'm spelling it with an F. Again, this is how you spell it in the UK, that's how you spell it in most parts of the world. I do both, if I'm honest. Both are acceptable. And we'll grab our sulfur, chuck you down over there. We'll grab our water there as well. Brilliant, okay. Lastly, we've then got our nitric acid, and I believe, again, there's only one recipe for this thing. Let me see. Yep. So, nitrogen gas, water, iron. Simple. You take whatever you can get if it saves you another frame. Exactly, yeah. I try and do the same as well. Glass of water. There we go. Nitric acid's a weird recipe. I don't mind it. In fact, I would say I prefer it over some other recipes. Fixonium fuel rods, in particular. Rocket fuel. Yeah, I don't know what recipe I used for this, if I'm honest. All that I remember is that I didn't like the one that I used. I think this one's better. Yeah. Yeah, so this is the one I'm currently using. And I don't want to use it again. So I feel like I'm going to probably end up going with this one, which is water, crude oil, nitrogen, sulfur, coal. Okay. Yep. So essentially all of this plus iron, I believe. Let me just double check that. Oh, no iron, sorry. Nitrogen. I have no idea where iron came from. There we go. And that should be correct. Nitrogen gas, yes. Sulfur, yes. Coal, yes. Crude oil, yep. Coal. Yes. Okay. And the next one is ionized fuel. I think I did a video where I talked about which one of these recipes is the best one for it. And I think I came to the conclusion that this one was actually kind of decent. Let me just compare them. Again, do I really want to make ionized fuel? Maybe for my jetpack. So this one requires rocket fuel. Oh, but it requires power shards. So let's just talk about the ionized fuel part. So let's try and make, again, 200 per minute. Times this by 5, that's 200 rocket fuel. This one requires 240 rocket fuel. So this recipe down here requires more rocket fuel. And again, times this by 5. So you get 25 compact coal as a byproduct. Whereas for this one, you get 40 compact coal as a byproduct. But I believe for the rocket fuel recipe that I chose... Yeah, for the rocket fuel recipe that I chose, I don't really care for compact coal. I'm not using it for anything. In fact, that's actually a problem. Do I want to try and use this for something? I could always use it for power. So, I can, in theory, combine it with... I don't want to waste more sulfur. Oh, look at that, though. I can combine it with iron to make a bunch of steel ingots. So that could be pretty good, actually, in all fairness. Make a bunch of steel ingots as a byproduct. Get a bit of iron that I'm not using. That could be decent. Again, we'll tackle that problem if it comes to it. There we go. Then dark matter crystal. Do I really want to be spending some of my hard-earned reanimated SAM on this? Not particularly. But again, with this one, it's like, it's not much better. I'm going to come back to this recipe. Because again, I have made a video talking about this where I did go over everything. So what I'm actually going to try and do is highlight this as red, just so I know I can... Don't jump off. My dog again wants to jump off. We'll get him down. There we go. Let him do whatever it is he's going to do, which is probably just walk around and bark at himself, which he does quite a lot in all fairness. I don't know why, but dogs are dogs. Dark matter residue. Now, with dark matter residue, I believe we are using an alternate recipe. Oh wow, there's tons of different ways to make this thing, but yeah, there we go. So this is just called dark matter residue. And yeah, it's an alternate, what a surprise. Rocket fuel is also the alternate, wasn't it? I'll get the name of that in just a minute. What we got called now? Oh, literally just dark matter residue, okay. There we go. Then you require just SAM. In all fairness, granted it's quite a lot of SAM, but it is just SAM. Although odds are, if I can, I do want to try and reuse all the dark matter residue that I get from a byproduct from the quantum encoder back into other projects that then require dark matter residue to make them. Because this way I can use the dark matter residue and I'm saving on potentially thousands of SAM. So that's fantastic. Now going back to our rocket fuel just for a minute. You're called nitro rocket fuel. Okay. There we go. Good. Fantastic. Now we're actually moving on to the standard parts. These are the parts that I'm more familiar with. Iron rods, of course, this is just going to be the basic? Yeah, it is just the basic recipe, isn't it? Recipe name, iron rods. Ingredients, iron ore. Plus water. Which luckily is just a bit of this. I didn't do the ingredients for this. Nitrogen gas. Just making sure he's alright. Sulfur. Crude oil. Oil. And water. Obviously. What a surprise. Water? What? No. We can't be using water for a recipe. No, that's blasphemous. Believe it or not, we are using water. Oh, that's what was wrong about it. I didn't spell it right, because something looks wrong there, and that's what it is. Screws, we are obviously using an alternate recipe. We're using cast screws. In fact, what I might even do is just copy and paste everything here. There we go. Iron plates is the exact same. Reinforced iron plates is the exact same. We are just using the basic recipe for that. And for the reinforced iron plates, I am using stitched iron plates, which is the one that requires wire, but I'm using iron wire. The reason why I do that is because I end up saving iron and I believe power, so it's pretty good. Is it stitched plates? I think it is. Not stitched reinforced iron plates. Copper sheets, we are going to go with a alternate recipe where we are using copper, steamed copper sheets. Yep. ever watch one of the videos and the recipe doesn't call for water, you're going to assume that something went horribly wrong. Yeah, that's how you know something has gone wrong. Unless it's something like dark matter residue, which like generally doesn't require water. But if it's something like iron rod and I'm not using water for like a late game recipe, call the SWAT team. Like, I should be doing that. Steamed copper sheets where we're using copper ore plus water. Lovely. Alclad aluminium sheets. I believe this is the exact same as... Where is it? You, isn't it? I believe so. Let me just copy you over for a moment. I think it's also the basic recipe. I think there's only one recipe for it, isn't there? Yeah, there is only one. So we're using all of our aluminium stuff plus a bit of copper. Okay. So again, it's you lot, which is already copied over plus copper. And I believe that's it, because it literally is just aluminium ingots plus a bit of copper. Yep, grand. Good. Aluminium casing. I think it's like the exact same as this. So... There's always one thing I forget, isn't there? Love that. With our aluminium casing, I'm actually using an alternate recipe. I believe the alternate recipe saves me a bunch of... Well, I say a bunch. A decent amount of aluminium, but I've got to use copper. But it's fine, because I'm using copper here anyway, so I'm just getting extra copper, rather than like an entire different resource over to the factory, but again, I'm already using it, so it's fine. I quite like it. No idea what it's called, though. It's called Alclad Casing. Of course it is. I don't know why I said that sarcastically. I mean, I didn't know. Right. So far, the progress has been good on today's stream. We're already down to item 35. Actually, to be fair, we're probably down to item like 25, maybe 26. Steel pipe, we are going to go with a... How dare I do that? Alternate recipe. Iron pipe. I've talked about iron pipe so many times in my videos recently, but essentially it's the steel pipe recipe that doesn't use coal, it just uses iron. It's really good, but it consumes quite a lot of iron ingots. In fact, you know what? I'm going to do it again. Boom. Modular frame. Boom. Okay, no more booms down there, that's fine. Steel beam. Alternate recipe. I'm using molded. Molded with a U? I feel like it should be spelt like that. Let me just double check. Don't want to get it wrong. Yep. Molded beam. Where we are using iron, coal, and limestone. Plus, of course, water. What? Water? Yeah, I know. So now I've got to get the coal, which is from up there. And limestone, which I believe is that one. No, that one. Professional gamer. What can I say? Encased industrial beam. Is it the exact same items as this? No. Because I'm using the encased industrial pipe alternate recipe. Where I think we're using iron. We're using water. And we're using limestone. But we're not using coal. Yep. So you know what? I can pretty much copy that. Then just get rid of you. Lovely. Modular frame. Alternate. No idea what it's called. Something frame. Steeled frame. Who am I stealing it from? I don't know. That was a joke. Yeah, Twitch always has bots. It's terrible for bots. YouTube used to be dreadful for bots. Advertising, like, let's just call them dodgy adult sites. I don't know why, but after every single one of my streams and videos, I used to always get bots. Luckily now I don't. So that's good, I suppose. Heavy modular frame. I'm pretty sure you consume the exact same resources as the encased industrial pipe. I will give that a quick double check, but I'm pretty sure that is correct. Because I'm making this in my iron factory. Alternate recipe? Yeah. Oh, it's definitely an alternate recipe. Okay, let me try and guess what this one's called. No, fixed. No, something modular frame. Something frame. Fused? Fused modular frame? I think so. That sounds familiar to me. I will double check, of course. Okay, oh, that's... Well, it sounded familiar, but not for the reason I wanted it to be. It's the completely wrong object. Heavy encased frame. I got the frame part right, though. That deserves bonus points. And just very quickly... Actually, I have to keep this on here. Very quickly double checking... You, where are you? You... Bow, bow, bow. That's a song. No, not that. I have got a heavy modular frame recipe somewhere. You. So yeah. Limestone, water, iron. What a fantastically simple recipe. Limestone, water... Yeah, okay, grand. Oh, now we're moving on to fused modular frames. No idea what recipe I've gone for this. So I'm guessing if I go with that one, I end up saving on a bunch of resources, but then I've got to use fuel. Do I really want to be using fuel? No, so I just went with the basic recipe. I feel like that's completely fine. Now, you require quite a lot of items, don't you? Everything from aluminium casing. So let's go back up to our aluminium casing. Then I'm going to yeet you down to there. And then everything from here as well. Plus nitrogen gas, essentially. Or a chunky boy. Beck, wrong button. That's one chunky recipe. Okay. Wait, crude oil? Really? Oh, yeah, because we... Yeah, okay. That's a shame. Why do I keep typing that? No. Plus limestone, plus bauxite, plus... There we go. That's a lot of resources. And fixite trigon is the exact same as this. Literally the exact same. Nice and handy there for us. Why are you suddenly thick? Why are you suddenly thick? There we go. Did that not copy over that? You should have. Why you didn't? apparently I just can't copy that over. Why? Deuterium ore plus sand plus water. What's so difficult about that? Oh, because you're there. Why are you there? Regardless, that's fine. And then you're a basic recipe. Actually, well, no, yeah, you are. Fabric. Wait. Now, what are the odds of me actually making fabric? Like, fully automating fabric? It's pretty slim. It is pretty slim. But that's nothing. So, we are using something called polyester fabric. And the ingredients are essentially everything that I'm using for polymer resin, which is just crude oil. Fair enough. Yeah, nice and simple there. Sometimes it does that, other times it doesn't. I know why, actually. That's fine. You're on the wrong spot. Where is it? No fill. There we go. Welcome, Jarko. Hope that you're doing well. Why aren't you using Satisfactory modeler? I prefer this. It makes it easier for me to understand. If I've personally calculated all the recipes by myself, I know what I'm doing. If I'm relying on some AI to do it for me, it feels like I'm not playing the game. And AI is playing the game that I'm doing what the AI is telling me to do. I'll much rather do this myself because I know that I've built it myself. If I've made a mistake, that's on me. I prefer it that way, in all honesty. You don't have to do that, but I do. All of these are wrong, by the way. How has that happened? There we go. And then what was the other one? Deuterium. You're Deuterium, aren't you? Yes, you are. Okay, so everything there should be correct now. Sand, water, Deuterium, yep. And then crude oil and water, yep. Plastic is the same, I think. The exact same as fabric. Same with rubber down there as well. Okay. Although your recipe names are not as basic, are they? I don't know why I've typed that in caps. Residual plastic, yep. Where again, you need polymer resin, then polymer resin's made from crude oil, so yeah, that's kind of fine. I'm guessing the rubber recipe is called the exact same thing? Residual rubber? Yep. Okay. Ooh. No. Okay, grand. So that's now all of our standard items done. We are now moving on to our industrial items. So this will be a bit more complicated. Okay, this should be interesting. Yeah, it is like copy and pasting a factory, I suppose. Because you're not really doing anything. All you're doing is just saying, okay, I want to produce X amount of items. Do it for me. And all you have to do is just look at the sheets that the AI has generated for you, then just do it. At least, again, this way I can form the recipe I want in the way that I like it, in the method that I prefer. So it's just, it's a bit more flexible for me. It's the easiest way of putting it. Rotors, of course, we are doing our classic rotor recipe, which I absolutely love. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it. Obviously. I hate this recipe, let's do it. Alternates, alternates. No idea what these recipes are actually called, though. You're the steel rotor. You are the... Oh, wait. Actually, you're the basic recipe. Wow. I thought you were an alternate. And lastly, our motor recipe. This is not the basic one. I know that for a fact. It is the basic recipe. Just unsubscribe. I'm sorry, guys. I let you all down there. I really have. Okay. Just checking my dog's fine. I'm constantly checking my dog because he's like the one thing in this world I actually love. So if he's not good, I'm not good. No, he's just chilling. This is dinner time. Oh, I shouldn't say the word. I said the word. The D word. He's half deaf. He can't hear me. It's that time of day in a minute for him, so he's probably wondering where the feck his food is. And it's actually on the shelf behind me. He's just, again... Yeah. Bless him. If he was out in the wild by himself, I dread to think what he'll do. He'll just sit there. Accept his fate. Now, where is the battery? I swear I'm making batteries for this. Oh no, it's not this one, is it? It's... I just got teleported to the Aether. Nice. Where are you? Zoom in. I love this mouse. Oh my... So for my battery, we are going to need... bauxite. Crude oil. Actually, haven't I got something very similar up here? Wait. So crude oil, yes. Bauxite, yes. Iron, yes. Copper, yes. Limestone, no. You can be replaced with sulfur. Again, where was I? Bauxite, yeah. Nitrogen gas, no. So there should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 items here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back. No, I was correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the recipe, chat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. Was that so difficult for me to do? Clearly. We search our batteries, and then you are the... Wait. Oh, yeah, I am using the alternate. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Nice. Classic battery. Great. Now I've got to essentially copy and paste you lot again. Into there. In fact, no, let me just do it the proper way. The non-lazy way. Iron and water, so let's just get you lots. And copper, I believe. And limestone? No, no limestone. We do need sulfur. That. Dreamer counts to 6. I know, that's a very entertaining title. I should change it. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm missing one. Bauxite? Yes. Come here, yeah. Go. Heat sink. In fact, I shouldn't need to do that. Although, is it an alternate recipe? Maybe. I'll come back to that in just a moment, though. The heatsink should be the exact same as our alkali aluminium sheets. I'm just double checking though, because I've probably got it wrong. Today. It's not there. It shouldn't be there. Heatsink, where are you? There you are. Bauxite, water, crude oil, copper. That's it. So essentially everything here, same, but different. There we go, lovely. No iron. Literally bauxite, water, crude oil, copper. Very nice. Also, absolutely no one has commented, by the way, on my brilliant moustache. I don't know if you guys can see it. I know it's essentially a bush on my face. This has taken 15 years to grow, and I'm very proud of it. I'd probably end up trimming it, if I'm honest. I can't grow facial hair. I can't. I don't know why. I don't question it, though. I don't get angry about it. I just accept my destiny. I'm like Princess Fiona, the ogre from Shrek. I accept my destiny. Yeah? Yeah, heatsink. Enough about my face bush. More about heatsinks. Basic. Actually, this would be a pretty fun comparison, like how many basic and alternate recipes I'm actually using in this playthrough. Because as of right now, I can see a lot of alternates. Welcome, Early Pause. Thank you very much. Yeah, I didn't actually announce that to the chat. I am now the new Pope. I could read the Bible without even seeing it. In the beginning... Okay, that's all I know from the Bible, but, hear me out, but... It's not about what you know, it's about what you teach. You can't teach what you don't know, so maybe it... Okay. Doesn't matter. Cooling systems. Have they announced a new Pope? Wasn't it supposed to be the, was he Nigerian, the Pope? The first ever African Pope? That would be pretty cool. I don't know if it is him. You're an alternate? An alternate recipe? What? Shut the front door. Green device, and we need... Oh, okay. So essentially everything from our heatsink recipe plus iron. Okay. Sure. In fact, you know what? See, this is the reason as to why I'm making everything in the same factory. Because it's just so simple to do. Actually, to be fair, no, I'm not. Wait, why am I not making cooling systems in my aluminium factory? See, this is why I'm doing this. See, now I know. The next time I do an aluminium factory, make this in my aluminium factory. Why not? It's the exact same ingredients as... Well, almost the exact same ingredients as the battery. Which is very similar ingredients to the heatsink, which I'm already making in said location. Also, don't you need nitrogen gas as well? There we go. Yeah, you do. I mean, this is why I do it, right? As selfish as it sounds, I make a lot of the videos I do for me. So I can see, like, okay, what recipe is actually the best recipe to use? What items are good to have in the same factory? So, it's fantastic that other people watch the videos. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's mind-blowing when I wake up and I see that people have watched a video. It's fantastic. But in a somewhat selfish way, I kind of do it whether I'm streaming, recording, or doing it off-camera anyway, because it generally does fascinate me. What is the best recipe for X, Y, and Z, or what recipe is good to have with another recipe in the same factory? So... Again, I'll be doing this exact same thing off camera, but it's great that I can stream it and have people tune in, have a little bit of fun, and just talk about Satisfactory and other stuff. Pretty cool. Welcome, you're preparing for the next update and making some improvements to the energy in your save. Which one do you think is the best to build? I feel like nuclear energy is a lot of work. It is. I suppose the easiest thing to do is a coal power plant, but you don't get as much power. I feel like uranium is very good to do. uranium fuel rod. Plutonium fuel rod's pretty decent as well. I don't recommend fixonium, if I'm completely honest. Unless you really want to try and get rid of your plutonium and, well, plutonium waste, then you can do fixonium, but you are operating at a net negative for fixonium, so up to you there. Rocket fuel is really good. Rocket fuel is fantastic. Even just turbo fuel is really, really good. I don't recommend ionized fuel. You can do it, but it's good for jetpacks. That's about it, I believe. Yeah, definitely do try and do uranium. I know it's a lot of work, but it can be fun as well. Everything's a lot of work in theory. But yeah, that's something I do recommend. And rocket fuel as well. Just fixonium and ionized fuel I don't really recommend too much. It's a lot of work, and you don't really see the reward of it too much. Okay, moving on now. Wire, we're going to go for an alternate recipe. We're going to be doing some iron wire. Then copy and paste you into there. Cable, again, the exact same thing here as well. Except I'm not using an alternate recipe for you. I can, but I don't really want to. Quick wire, we are most certainly using an alternate recipe. In fact, I do need to do this. I don't know what it's called. Use quick wire. I'm gonna sneeze. Wait. No, we're fine. I hate when that happens, man. If I'm gonna sneeze, bloody sneeze. Especially when you're on, like, public transport, and you do the face like you're about to sneeze, and you don't sneeze, then people are looking at you like, is that guy, is he alright? Little do they know, I'm not alright. I'm not alright. Well, but it's so just awkward. Anyway, no. Plus cerium or plus water. There we go. Where's Caterium? There it is. Why do I constantly lose where Caterium is? I don't know. Just started a new world. Your plan is to use the plutonium fuel rods as fuel for trucks and drones and things like that. That's a good idea. I feel like depending on what battery recipe you've got, batteries can be fantastic. That's definitely something I do want to try and do in my next save that I didn't do for my 1.0 save. I didn't make enough batteries. And I essentially want to try and use batteries for all of my vehicles. I feel like it's just easier to do, and this is the recipe that I'm going with. It does mean that I have to make a bit more plastic. Wire is completely fine. Aluminium stuff is completely fine. I've done all the workings out for it, and I could probably make quite easily a few hundred extra batteries. Because look at the sulfur to battery ratio, and that's my biggest concern, sulfur. For every 6 sulfur you use, you get 4 batteries, so it's like a 3-to-2 ratio pretty much. Which is actually really good. Every 1.5 sulfur you use, you get a battery. I think that's pretty decent. Plastic is not a concern. Wire, again, alkali, I'm not too worried about that. Circuit board is next, okay. Silicon circuit board alternate recipe. I was checking the time there. We've been live now for 1 hour and 40 minutes. We've still got... Oh, we've got so much to do. To be fair, I can't do any of this as of right now. That will be, again, a separate stream or a video. I don't know. Probably not a separate stream because that won't really take too long to do. So you're going to need copper ore plus raw quartz. That's water. In. There we go. I'll do it the boring way, if I have to. Also, we're still going to try and do turbo motors. That will be covered on a different day. And there's a couple other recipes I still haven't done. So again, that'll be covered on different days. As well as the ionized fuel. I'm still thinking, is it even, like, worth me trying to calculate this? Because I'm not doing it. So, we'll see, we'll see. Is that all fine? I think that's fine now. AI limiter. I don't know if this is a basic recipe. I know what recipe it is, I just don't know if it's an alternate. It's not, it's the basic. Oh, I hate technology. I actually hate technology. Like, generally, I hate it. Even though I rely on technology to live, but still. Ingredients. You require everything from literally everything from Quickwire. It's the exact same. Because we also need copper sheets there as well. But luckily, again, our copper sheets require just copper and water, which we've already got in this recipe anyway, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, Quickwire and AI limiters will be made in the exact same factory. I don't see why not. High-speed connectors. Yeah, I'm using the basic recipe for this. Okay, it does require quite a lot of stuff though, in all honesty. A lot more than I thought it would, but oh well. If you somehow end up with a backlog of plutonium fuel rods, then you just sink it, yeah. Because they sink for a lot of points, don't they? Let me try and get up the exact amount for you. It's a lot. That's the better one. Oh, what's that I see down here? Oh, wow. Oh, Google. Wow. I think the only reason why I'm being recommended that is because it's my Google accounts, but still, that's pretty cool to see. It is a rather weird feeling, by the way, seeing your videos on Google. Pretty cool. Anyway, 153,000 sync points. That's very decent. I mean, granted, you won't be making like 100 of these per minute. Unless you are, then bloody hell, but it's still pretty decent. It's better than nothing, isn't it? It's a lot better than nothing. What was I doing? Oh yeah, high-speed connector. Basic recipe, I think we said, didn't we? Yeah. Then you're going to need everything from here, plus raw quartz and plus iron. I'm so lazy, I can't even type out raw quartz. Generational debt in typing. So Quickwire is copper, caterium, water. Cable is just iron, copper, caterium. And then circuit board is raw quartz, water, copper. Yep, that's good. In fact, you know what? Let's just do you. Then I'll do you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. What have I missed? Tyrion. Bloody. It's okay. It's fine. Okay, luckily reanimated Sam, there's only one recipe for it, I think. And the only thing it requires is Sam. So that's a nice basic one just to get out of the way with. Sam Fluctuator. Again, I feel like there's only one recipe for this. Yeah, okay. So we're using Sam, iron. Oh, wow. That's a good recipe. I've just realized now. Because the last time I made this was in my 1.0 save, where I used copper wire, then coal and iron for my steel pipes. And of course, I've changed my recipes over time. I've marinated my recipes, essentially. So it's good to know that I've made this recipe far simpler, where again, the only thing I need is iron ore, water, obviously, and Sam. That's a good idea, I think. There we go. A success. Okay, very quickly, I'm going to feed my dog because it's 13 minutes past his dinner time. So, give me a minute. I'm not gonna, I'll literally be gone for like 20 seconds. Please don't miss me too much. You won't do, so don't worry. There we go. I suppose one good thing about having a pug is that they love to... You can literally see him eat there in the background. There you go. Pug camera. Look at the way he eats. Get a grip. Tommy. Unbelievable. Yeah, there you go. Came here for Satisfactory content. You got a pug eating his dinner. I'm sorry. Anyway. The videos pop up when you search for plutonium fuel rods in Satisfactory in incognito. Oh, wow. Yeah, I've never actually tried to search my channel in incognito, if I'm honest. Because, I mean, it is what it is. If my videos come up, if they don't come up, it's alright. Computers. I am definitely using an alternate recipe. I believe it's the oscillator computers, crystal computers, something like that. Let me just try and get the exact name. I do actually really like this recipe, by the way. Crystal computer. I got it right. Wow. Ingredients is going to be everything from our crystal oscillators, which I haven't calculated yet. It's fantastic. And circuit boards. Okay. So where's our circuit boards? Here. Here. I'll probably end up being live for the next, like, few minutes, because I do have to walk the dog as well. I can't just feed him and let him do his thing. He does, like, a good walk, so yeah. Again, sorry, my family and my dog take priority over everything in my life, and I feel like that's kind of understandable. I do deeply apologize for the inconvenience. Crystal oscillator, where are you? Yeah, wee nightmare. You. So it's iron and water. Oh. Generally not a bad recipe. If I show up for Satisfactory and receive a pug eating his dinner, I call that an absolute win. It's 2 for the price of 1, isn't it? It's just Satisfactory content plus like a halftime show. I mean, it's fantastic. Who needs the Super Bowl halftime commercials when you've got pugs? Supercomputer. Oh god, this is gonna be such a nightmare to do. Okay, so our supercomputer is over here, isn't it? I think. It should be here. So our fuse modular frame. I've not done it over here now. I've sworn that I did. Oh, I know I didn't. No. It was over here. The... I believe nuclear pasta? No, but where is it? I know I've done it. Like, I've done the recipe for this. For a video. There we go. Oh, blood. Okay. That's rough. That is rough. Okay. How am I going to do this? I suppose the easiest thing for me to do is first of all move you lot over there. Type in supercomputer. Find the recipe that I'm using, which I'm pretty sure is this one. I don't know why I'm not No, I do know why I'm not using that. Wait, no, I am using that one. No, I'm not using that one. Just... So, alternate recipe, super state computer. And you need everything from our computer recipe. So all of that. Oh, he stinks, by the way. I don't... Like, the way he eats is just vile. It is what it is. He is a dog. And everything as well from our batteries. Which is... Where is our batteries? There. Okay, you're actually quite a lot of stuff, aren't you? Hmm. Iron... Yep. Yo. I knew he was going to do that. That's fine. Anything else? Electromagnetic control rods, and well, obviously wire is just iron, and we've already got wire. So electromagnetic control rods. Where were you again? Have we not calculated that? I swear we have. Why is that in the nuclear? I know why that's in the nuclear tab. Okay. Electromagnetic control rod. What resources do you require? Iron. Already got. Copper. Already got. Deuterium. Already got. And water. Already got. Okay, so this is it, essentially. Wait, isn't that just everything from here? Yep. Yep, almost. Damn. Okay. Fair enough. Crude, yeah, I mean, this is just a complicated thing to make. Iron we've got, water we've got, copper we've got, bauxites we have not. So where would I make this? Most likely in my electronics factory. Because you're relatively similar to a few of these things here as well. What's this? Quick wire. Circuit boards. What's this one again? High-speed connectors. You guys overlap quite a lot. In all fairness. So yeah, a lot of this will most likely be made in a very... either in the same factory or very close to each other. It's most likely going to end up being the same factory though. But there's no point in building like 4 factories right next to each other, just build one. Unless I end up going with my... Actually, wait, I don't want to spoil it. I've got an idea for my next playthrough and I think it'll be kind of fun. In fact, I will spoil it. I'm building a city, okay? I'm building a city for my next playthrough. That's the reason as to why I've been building like a port. My last few live streams, you might have seen that. Because I'm building a port city. It's essentially the plan. And I'm going to have a bunch of skyscrapers. And each skyscraper is going to be a certain material or a certain group of materials. Like an iron skyscraper, then a copper skyscraper. It just depends on location, I suppose. Yeah, that's the plan. Should be really good fun. Looking forward to it. Tons of trains coming in as well. Lots of vehicles going around, some of which will be carrying items, others are just there for ambiance. But yeah, looking forward to that one, honestly. I've never built anything like it before, so expect there to be lots of mistakes. I mean, lots of progress. Radio control units. I think I'm using that recipe. Let's go for a quick double check, though. I'm pretty sure that is the recipe I'm using. Radio control units. Okay, now you're not there, so you should be here. There we go. Yep, so quartz crystals, high-speed connectors, and heat sinks. Where we are going to need bauxites, crude oil. I spelled that wrong. Yep. Crude oil. Copper. No, ore. raw quartz, Ethereum, and that's it. And water, obviously. Is that bad? It was fine. Let's just copy everything down from here, then eliminate what we don't need. So crude oil. We don't need iron. We do need iron. I was gonna say. Yeah. Okay. What have I done here? There we go. So, bauxite, yes. Crude oil, yes. Copper, yes. Raw quartz, yes. Ethereum, yes. Iron, yes. Water, yes. It's not that. There we go. Welcome, Fibrous. I do Twitch, yes. If you check my description in today's live stream, there should be a link to my Twitch. I can try and get it for you, although you might be quicker than me. There we go. That should be my Twitch there. My Twitch is slightly ahead of YouTube, that like recording wise. So yeah. What did I miss out here then? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait. What? Bauxites, crude oil, copper, raw quartz, Ethereum. That's what it was. Found it nice. And that was an alternate recipe if I'm not mistaken. Yep. Radio connection unit. Nice. Now the next recipe is our crystal oscillators, where luckily, because the recipe is actually pretty good, the only thing that I'm actually going to need here is iron, water, and quartz crystal, I believe. Let me just double check very quickly. Yep. Iron, water, raw quartz. Must be the basic recipe. If not, I can change that in just a second. It's not a problem, not a drama. Iron ore. Why can't I bro? There we go. Nice. 54,000 copper ingots. Yeah, the copper powder recipe is just nuts. Are you using the refineries, or are you going with the smelter tactic? Although, to be fair, if you were making 54,000 copper ingots from the smelters, you would need 1,800 smelters. So I'm kind of hoping for your sanity that you've gone with the refineries, which you probably still need quite a lot of, in all fairness. It's 100, 37.5. Wait, it's almost the exact same. Oh no, it is. It's 576, yeah. Or 1,440. So 1,728 power slugs will be sacrificed for this project. But their sacrifice is worth it, because, I mean, that recipe is pain. It is pain. Okay, the last one that we're going to try and calculate now is the super... Ugh. Can I be asked to do the superposition? Yeah, I can. Wait, no, I can't. I haven't done the recipe for it yet. Although, realistically, what would I use here? Oh, well, that answers our question. There's only one recipe. Dog still eating his dinner, that's nice. Also, why is superposition one word? Superposition. It sounds like a word that is two, well, obviously super and position, but it doesn't sound like it should be together. Like, for example, high-speed connector or high-speed train. Technically the same word. Also not. Same but different. I feel like this should be same but different, but it's not. So we're going to need essentially just a whole lot of different... Right. Really? Okay, so excited photonic matter. Wow, we're finally using excited photonic matter. Now we're getting onto the late game sort of items. Ironclad aluminium sheets, so everything from aluminium sheets. Just copy you lot over that. Why are you large? Thank you. Bit too small now. Damn it. There we go. So we also need everything from here as well. Iron, which we haven't got. Raw quartz, which we haven't got. Okay. So that's our crystal oscillators and the ironclad aluminium sheets and the excited photonic matter. The last thing there is the dark matter crystal, which is just Sam. Okay. I don't love that recipe, if I'm honest. It's probably the best one. Well, I mean, I haven't got much else of a choice. It's the only recipe. So what have we got left now? We've got the quantum tech stuff, which by itself is probably going to take like half an hour. Canisters are nice and simple to do. Fuels like uranium, fuel rods, plutonium, that's nice and simple. Black powder, smokeless powder, all the different types of ammunition, which again, going to be a separate couple videos. Oh, the nuclear stuff. Oh, hello. The uranium waste, which I suppose just requires that, really. Uranium. I know it also requires whatever else you're making to make the uranium or plutonium, but that's fine. It doesn't even deserve to be its own category because you can't make waste, you make it as a byproduct. Oh well. The maximum amount of copper ingots that could be made. I don't know. I could try and search it up. Copper or Satisfactory. Thanks for sneezing on me. He's letting me know that he's finished his dinner. How kind. So in the world, there's 36,900 copper. But then bear in mind you can also turn a bunch of raw quartz and sulfur into copper until you've used up all your reanimated SAM in your world. And if you use, in theory, the sulfuric acid recipe until you then run out of sulfur, which you might have actually already done from that, so you can't use that. So if you use this recipe, the petroleum coke recipe down here, where you then have to use pretty much all of your crude oil to combine it with all of your copper, you can probably make hundreds of thousands. easily hundreds of thousands. If you wanted to. I don't recommend it, but you could if you really wanted to. Which is pretty interesting. But regardless, stream, that's going to do it for today. We have essentially started planning quite a lot of our factories. And to summarize essentially the title and thumbnail and what we've done today, this is what we've done. The reason as to why we've done what we've done is so I can go back here and say, black screen. So I can look at this and think, okay, this and this just requires iron ore and water. Same with our wiring cable, that's fantastic. And then scroll back up again. Find that. All of that. That I can't do just yet. Back up over here. It's like this. So now we can see that, of course, our iron ingots, our iron rods, our screws, our iron plates, our reinforced iron plates, our modular frames, our rotors, our stators, our motors, our wire, and our cable can all be made in the exact same factory because they only consume one resource, in theory, iron, and water, which I'll be definitely using. So that's definitely helped us plan our mega factories. Of course, we can't fully plan all of our mega factories until I finish doing every single one of these recipes, which I'm sure we'll do another day just to, as like a part 2 kind of thing. So I'm looking forward to that. But again, I can't really fully finish doing that until I finish doing all of our space elevator parts, which I am working on off camera, but they take so long to do. And bear in mind I'm doing other stuff as well, so it's like, yeah, it's a lot of stuff. But it's good fun though. I am enjoying it, and I really hope that you guys are enjoying it as well. Thank you very much for all the support in today's live stream, for the 200 people that have tuned in, and for the 9 likes on today's live stream. That's extremely kind of you guys. Thank you very much. All this stuff to make copper powder and making 45 nuclear plastic will take 183 to 240. Yeah. That's the problem with it, right? That's the problem. It requires a lot of power. Is it worth it? Eh. No. It depends what you're using the power for. Like, some items you have to use power for. Other items, you don't. You can just simply avoid doing it. Save yourself the trouble. I won't get into which item doesn't deserve to be wasting all your power on Fixonium, but, you know, it is up to you. It's up to the player, really, isn't it? But regardless, again, thank you very much to everyone who did tune in today. I do greatly appreciate that. Hopefully, I'll be live again on Saturday or Sunday doing God knows what. But, yep. Welcome, Chris. What do you plan on to check? Oh, I just do it. I don't well, I've got Myro, which is the, if I get it up again, which is this thing. That's where I plan all my research, and I've got an Excel spreadsheet where I then do my best recipes, which is also where I see which items go into which factories, essentially, like which mega factories I'm doing. But in regards of planning to make sure that it's going to work out, I don't. I just do it. If it works out, brilliant. If it doesn't work out, do it again. I learn from my mistakes. You know, I don't avoid projects if I think I'm going to make a mistake whilst doing it. If anything, that just gives me more of a reason to do the project in the first place. So yeah, I just go with it. We got 2.5 million power. Oh, nice. I'm guessing that's from a lot of rocket fuel. Maybe a lot of coal as well. But yeah, that is definitely tons of power. Anyway, I am dragging on this outro for way too long. Thank you very much, guys, for tuning in. Again, 200 viewers. That's extremely kind of you guys. Have an amazing... Actually, I can show you the screen, by the way, I think. Yeah. What? I mean, here it is anyway. Yeah, thank you, everyone, for watching. Have an amazing rest of your day. See you guys on the weekend. Stay easy. Stay safe. Lots of crazy stuff happening in the world. Stay safe. And I see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.